This is the BMW M2, and I still think that this is absolutely the proper enthusiast choice for a car if you're looking for a fun, enthusiast-oriented vehicle. It's an analog car. It's a very analog car, and honestly this is probably the last of its kind. So I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the car on the outside, and then I'll go into why I think this is really the proper enthusiast choice. So here you have the BMW M2. Now just looking at the car, if you look at it from the side, this is a very tiny car. This is not big at all, which makes it really awesome as a fun car for kind of windy, twisty roads. I know this is a long stretch with like one turn. This isn't the best example right here where I'm parked, but really this car is meant for windy, twisty roads. I say every single video, that's really what it's for. And just look at it, it just looks so awesome, I have to say. Just in this lighting, I know this is a summer kind of a car, but right now, man, it just contrasts so nicely against everything. But anyway, this is a very analog car, and like I said, it's probably one of the last of its kind. This car is rear-wheel drive, which makes it a blast to drive. Not so much now as the weather's getting cold. I literally just measured the tire temperatures for another video, and they're all about like 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So they are cold. Like, these tires are not gripping very well. Not having a great time out here really pushing the car because it's just, the season is over, right? But nonetheless, the rear-wheel drive is phenomenal. If you look on the inside of the car, we could talk about the other reasons why this is the last of its analog kind. So let's have a seat, and here we go. We will start right here. It's a fairly simple steering wheel with buttons. You can actually press things, buttons to make things happen. You look at the gauge cluster, analog. Now, the pre-LCI, which this is, has these analog ones. The next one, which is the LCI, they have like this weird hybrid of like half analog, half digital. It's kind of weird. They are nice, I'm not gonna lie, but these still have that old school feel. You can actually see the numbers. It's an analog gauge cluster. You don't get those often anymore. Everything's digital now. Same thing over here. You have this small little screen here for, you know, your music, maybe your navigation, whatever, but that's it. That's all you have is this. Everything else is buttons. You have knobs for the temperatures. You have buttons for the radio. You can actually put in a CD. You have a manual transmission, guys. Look at this, a manual. You don't find these anymore. And what's nice too about this specific manual in this BMW M2 in the F generation, if you look, if I kind of back up a little bit, it like fits really nicely in here. Like, it conforms to the flow of everything here, but back up a little bit more. It just looks like it belongs. It doesn't look out of place. The issue I have with the newer one, the G87 M2, is the car looks so modern, but then you have this like exact shifter in that car, and it just looks so out of place. That's not to say that car doesn't have an analog feel, but it's not nearly as analog as this, where that one has this giant screen. This one has all these buttons. It has a manual transmission that actually looks like it belongs here. It conforms nicely to everything. It's not just smacked in the middle of the console like I feel it is in the G87 M2. And that is a huge, huge deal. So there right off the bat, like, everything just feels so much more analog about this car. Like, just everything about this car from a sitting perspective feels very analog. It feels like the last of its kind. They're not making cars like this anymore. Everyone now has these big screens. Everyone has, you know, like 2-3 buttons, and that's it. You don't get that anymore. And I think it's a real big shame. But if you're looking for an enthusiast car, this is really the one. It's just steering wheel, shifter, let's go. I mean, it really should kind of go without saying that the BMW M2, even just with the manual transmission, does kind of make it the enthusiast pick. Not many cars anymore are made in such an analog fashion, especially with the manual transmission. Like, you can still have so much fun with this car, shifting it, bringing it out, having fun with it. Like, it's a really awesome car, and there's not much in here that can really distract you. It's really a nice place to be for driving. I don't really know how else to describe that. Everything that really is in your area is very driver focused. Your steering wheel is very simple. You have your simple controls. You have buttons for everything. So if you're looking at the road, you can kind of feel what you need to feel. You don't have to go through a giant iPad to select your heated seat. You just kind of more or less find the button, press it, whatever, do what you gotta do. It's just a very old school kind of a feel in this car. Like, you just look at the road, you shift your gears, and you carry about your business, having fun. And two, it's a very small car. It's very tiny, it's very compact. The whole purpose of this thing really is for windy, twisty roads, which not a lot of cars are really built for nowadays, because you really can't extract all the power from them. With something like the BMW M2, the perk that you really have is because it's so small, you can maneuver it a lot better. It's not a giant yacht that you have to kind of steer all the way through these turns like a yacht. Compared to the M2 competition, this thing has only 365 horsepower, which is still a lot. It is a lot of horsepower for windy, twisty back roads that this car is really designed for. So it really has the perfect amount of power for the road. Yes, it'll go fast on a highway, but it's not really meant for that. It's meant to be driven on winding roads. It's meant to get the back end loose, and it's meant for you to have fun on these kinds of roads. And it's so nice being able to just drive this car, being able to shift it, being able to actually enjoy all the gears. A lot of more powerful manual transmissions, or cars with manual transmissions, you can only enjoy 1 or 2 gears, and that's it. Everything else after that is just way above the speed limit. And the same goes with like automatics or with dual clutch transmissions on exotics, stuff like that. It all falls in the same category of those cars have so much power you can't enjoy all the gears, whereas you really can inside a BMW M2, which makes it a fun enthusiast car because you have 6 gears. You can actually enjoy 6 of them. When you want to wring this car out, you can do that. And there's not much else in here, like I said, that distracts you. You don't have all these leathers here. It's not a Mercedes where you have all these lights everywhere, like purple lights, pink, blue, every color of the rainbow. You just get in, you drive the thing, and you have fun. That's why this is such an awesome enthusiast choice. You shift, you rip it, you have fun. What I love too, and I can't really show it in this video, but at nighttime, the gauge cluster is orange. For those of you guys that have more modern BMWs, the gauge clusters on older BMWs are actually orange because it's a lot easier on the eyes compared to white or red or green or any of these other colors. And I think that is such a nice touch that it's actually functional. They didn't put these like glorious weird color lights that are intense and in your face. No, they made it actually functional and practical, and I love that. It just makes it easy for you to drive. It's driver focused, and I love that. Plus the orange just makes it feel so much more analog in that it just brings my memories back to those older days of like the early 2000s. Now, I wasn't driving in the early 2000s. I'm 30 years old now, right? I couldn't drive back then, but I do remember how cars looked and how cars felt just sitting in the back seat or whatever it was, looking at the gauge clusters. They just felt so different and analog with needles that moved and the orange colors at night. It just felt so different, and I love it. This generation really bridges that gap between the old and the new, because before this you had the E generation BMWs, then now you have the G BMWs. So the F generation BMWs, so like this generation M2, this generation of the M3, M4, they all bridge the gap between the old car world and the new car world. Specifically with the M2s, I think the OG M2 really does that well. The LCI and the competition, they have newer headlights, newer tail lights, they use LEDs. You have this like semi-digital gauge cluster, and it's a different feeling. It's not to say it's a bad one, it's still a very analog car, but I think this one is more analog than those are just because of the old school nature of the head and tail lights, the old analog gauge cluster that you have. So I hope what I'm saying in this video makes sense, guys, but the BMW M2, the OG M2 is still the proper enthusiast pick. Like for 30,000, there's not much else that you're gonna get that gives you this performance, this feeling, that's still modern enough. Like you can have Apple CarPlay in these things too. So like I said, it really bridges that gap, and it's the last of its kind. So if you like this video, if you agree with me, let me know, leave me a like, leave me a comment, let me know what you guys think of this video, my thought process. Tell me what you guys think, I'd love to hear it. Subscribe if you want more videos from me. And if you're on your journey from your first keys to your dream driveways, make sure you guys also check out my website, drivewayjourney.com. I have some shirts, hats, phone cases, and stuff like that to help us represent the journey that we're all taking as car enthusiasts from our first keys to those dream cars that we're gonna own one day. If that's something you're into, make sure you guys check that out. And that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.